Welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to put on our VR headsets,
Oh, cool.
and we're diving into the world of virtual reality research,
And it's fun.
specifically in management and organizations.
Oh,
So get ready for some serious metaversing as we explore a paper by Timothy D. Hubbard and Herman Aquinas, who make a pretty compelling case that VR offers a unique lens for studying human behavior.
yeah. I'm really intrigued by this actually. VR technology has advanced so much. I mean, it's to the point where we can create these incredibly realistic simulations. And it's becoming more and more accessible too. I mean, it's just opening up a whole world of possibilities for researchers, especially when it comes to studying the way we work and interact within organizations.
So, like, instead of relying on, those traditional methods like surveys or interviews where people are kind of telling you what they think they would do, with VR, you can actually put them on in the situation, in a simulation.
Exactly. It's like you can see how people actually behave, not just how they say they would behave.
Yeah, that's huge. So, like, what makes VR such a game changer for research, especially compared to those traditional methods?
Well, just imagine, right? You want to study leadership styles. In the past, you might ask people how they would react to different types of leaders or situations.
Right.
But with VR, you can actually put them a simulated scenario with a virtual leader, observe their real-time reactions,
Mm.
see how they make decisions, how they interact, all of that.
You could even track, like, their physiological responses, right?
Oh, absolutely. Heart rate, eye movements, all that good stuff. You get a much richer, much more realistic data set.
It's like turning those hypothetical situations into a real experience.
Exactly. It's just so powerful because you get to see the nuances and the subtle things that you'd never pick up in a traditional lab setting.
And the paper really highlights VR's power to, like, simulate situations that would be really hard, maybe even impossible, to study in the real world. What are some examples of that?
Well, think about those really sensitive topics
Yeah.
like workplace harassment or ethical dilemmas in decision making. These are things that are super difficult to replicate ethically in a real world experiment.
Oh, yeah.
But with VR, you can create a controlled, safe environment to explore those complexities and still maintain a high degree of realism.
It's really remarkable when you think about it. So it's not just about recreating reality. It's about, like you said, exploring things that would be just too difficult or too sensitive to study
You
otherwise.
got it. And the crazy thing is, the realism you can achieve in these VR simulations is just mind-blowing. I mean, modern VR can incorporate these incredibly lifelike visuals, spatial audio,
Yeah.
even haptic feedback, It's like you're really there.
Wow.
And that level of immersion, it's not just a gimmick. It's crucial for getting accurate data on how people genuinely behave in different situations.
Yeah, like you're not just asking them to imagine being in that situation, they're actually experiencing it.
Mhm.
So for example, like if you're studying the impact of office design on teamwork, you could create virtual offices with different layouts, different lighting, maybe even virtual coworkers.
Exactly. And by observing how teams collaborate and interact in those different virtual spaces, you could gain a ton of insights into how the physical environment actually affects group dynamics and productivity.
Oh man. So it's like you have this incredible ability to manipulate the workplace and see how it changes behavior. Fascinating.
And don't forget the data, right? VR isn't just about observing behavior. You can collect so much data in these simulations. We're talking eye tracking, facial expressions, physiological responses, even voice recordings.
Act like a gold mine of information.
Combining all that data can give you these incredible insights into how people think, feel, and make decisions under all sorts of different conditions.
Wow. So it's like we're moving way beyond those simple self-reported surveys and actually capturing those subtle, often unconscious signals that really drive human behavior.
Exactly, you said it perfectly.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, let's talk about the metaverse.
Ooh, yeah, the
It's
metaverse.
everywhere these days.
Yeah.
How does it fit into this whole conversation about VR research?
Well, the metaverse, with all its interconnected virtual worlds and persistent online environments, it's really a whole new frontier for research, especially in management and organizations. You can imagine studying how virtual teams collaborate, how they innovate in these shared virtual spaces, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Or you can think about leadership dynamics, how they unfold and evolve in these decentralized environments where everyone's represented by an avatar.
Oh, that's so interesting. It's like we're actually seeing new organizational structures, new ways of working emerging in these virtual worlds,
Yeah.
and VR gives us the tools to study them.
Exactly. It's super exciting. I mean, who knows what we'll discover about human behavior in this new digital age, right? But it's not just about studying new phenomena. VR also gives us this amazing opportunity to revisit and maybe even refine our understanding of classic research.
Okay, so how would that work? Like, what are some examples of how we could use VR to build on existing research?
Well, think about those classic studies on groupthink. You know, that phenomenon where the desire for harmony in a group overrides a realistic look at the alternatives.
Yeah.
You could imagine recreating those studies in VR. You could manipulate the group composition communication patterns, even introduce, virtual dissenters.
To see how all those factors influence things in real time.
Right. And, that's what's so amazing about VR research. It lets us go beyond static models and really explore those complex social dynamics.
I mean, it seems like such a powerful tool.
Yeah.
But are there any challenges to like getting VR research more widely accepted, in the scientific community?
Oh yeah, for sure. One big one is just the initial investment you need to make, to develop realistic simulations. Building these immersive experiences takes specialized software skilled developers and often expensive hardware.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely more complicated than just handing someone a survey.
for sure. And then there's also the issue of reviewer skepticism.
Oh, right.
VR is a relatively new methodology, so some reviewers might be hesitant to embrace research that uses such an unconventional approach.
So it's almost like VR researchers have to work even harder to prove that their findings are valid and rigorous.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. But the good news is there are ways to address those challenges.
Okay.
For example, there are platforms that connect researchers with participants who already own VR headsets
Oh, that's smart.
that can really help streamline data collection and bring those costs down. And another promising approach is the use of registered reports.
Registered reports. I haven't heard of that.
So in a registered report, researchers outline their research, question their hypotheses, their methodology, the whole data analysis plan up front.
Okay.
And then that proposal is reviewed by experts in the field. And if the study design is seen as rigorous and the research question is considered valuable, the journal actually commits to publishing the findings.
Regardless of the outcome.
Exactly. It doesn't matter whether the results support the initial hypotheses or not.
Interesting. So that kind of incentivizes researchers to design really strong studies from the beginning, and it minimizes the potential for bias in how the data is interpreted.
Yeah, exactly. It shifts the focus from chasing those statistically significant results to just doing really good research.
Which is how it should be.
Right. Especially in a field like VR research where, the novelty of the methodology might raise questions about its scientific validity.
So it's all about building that trust and establishing VR as a credible research method. Okay, so we've talked about like the how of VR research. What about the why? Like, what's the ultimate goal of using this technology to study management and organizations?
At its heart, the goal is to use this powerful tool to really get a deeper understanding of human behavior within organizations. By creating immersive simulations that mimic real-world dynamics, we can study leadership teamwork, decision-making, even the impact of technology on the future of work.
In a way that we couldn't before.
Right. It's about pushing the boundaries of what we know about ourselves and how we function in complex systems.
But it's not just some theoretical exercise, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are real-world implications to these findings.
So absolutely. The insights from VR research could completely change the way we design workplaces, develop training programs, even create virtual environments that, encourage empathy and understanding across teams.
It's about taking those virtual discoveries and applying them to real-world problems to improve how we work and interact with each other.
Exactly.
So for those of us who aren't researchers but are fascinated by this technology, how can we start thinking about the impact of VR in our own lives?
That's a great question. I think one of the most important takeaways is that VR can revolutionize not just research, but also how we learn and experience the world.
It's like VR is opening up a whole new dimension of understanding. You can actually step into someone else's shoes virtually.
Yeah, and get a firsthand perspective on their experiences and challenges. Imagine using VR to experience a day in the life of a CEO who's facing a huge decision, or a frontline worker navigating a complex process.
It could foster so much empathy.
It could break down those silos, lead to more informed decision-making across organizations.
It's really about bridging that gap between different roles, different perspective, to create a more shared understanding of the challenges we face.
You got it. And it goes way beyond the workplace, too. Think about the implications for education training, personal growth. You could use VR to learn new skills in a safe, immersive environment. practice public speaking in front of a virtual audience, or even explore different career paths before making any big decisions.
It's like a sandbox for life.
Exactly. But before we get too carried away, it's important to remember that VR is a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, its effectiveness depends on how it's used.
So it's not about just blindly using VR for every research question. It's about being strategic and thoughtful about when and how to use it.
Exactly. VR has amazing potential, but we need to use it wisely. And as the technology keeps evolving, so will the possibilities for using it to deepen our understanding of management organizations, human behavior, the whole thing.
I'm really excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah.
It really feels like we're just at the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
Like we're just starting to see what VR can do. I can't wait to see where it takes us in terms of understanding ourselves and the organizations we create.
Totally agree. And, it's not just about the researchers or even the technology itself. It's about having that curiosity and that openness to exploring these questions in new ways.
Like Hubbard and Aquinas, they're really urging everyone to get on board. Researchers, journal editors, reviewers, everyone, to embrace the potential of VR.
It's like a call to action for the whole research community to really dive into this new frontier.
But it also feels like an invitation for all of us, even if we're not researchers, to think differently about learning and problem solving.
That's a great point. It's about constantly learning, experimenting, embracing new technologies, and challenging those old ways of thinking. Who knows what we might discover as we keep pushing the boundaries?
That's such a great question to leave our listeners with. Where do you see VR having the biggest impact in the world of research? What mysteries are you excited to unravel using this amazing technology? Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of VR research. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the limits of what's possible.